That's going to be coming up. And then in addition to that, I upgraded my editing software. So for years, I'm talking since like 2010, I've used this video editor called AVS Video Editor. That's from some UK company. I've never heard of them. No one's really heard of them. There's really, you know, rinky-dink company. But at the time, you think back to 2010, before I was even doing this for a job, I needed a video editor that was cheap, but had some features that were nice, and it could do basic video editing for things like my reviews and stuff. And I bought this one, and since then it's what I've used, and it's just so insufficient for doing anything in a professional capacity. This thing crashes like crazy. It has pop-up errors. It eats all the memory on my PC. And keep in mind, I have a top-of-the-line PC, and this thing just destroys the PC. It's a stinky piece of shit, and I need to stop using it. And finally, I was making this Dying Light playthrough. I'm sorry, this Dying Light montage. And I finally was doing it, and it's error. I couldn't take it anymore. I fucking slammed my desk, and I said, enough is enough, and I'm not going to take it anymore. So much like Owen Hart, I stormed away from my office for 5 minutes, and I said, I need to think about how I'm going to be doing this properly in the future. What am I going to do? And I thought, well, there's programs like Sony Vegas, Adobe Premiere Pro, but they all cost like $700 to $800. They're insanely expensive, and I don't have that money right now. I don't. I'm in a time of my life right now where money is very tight, and I'm in a lot of debt, and I have to pay off the debt before I accrue more debt. My light bulb blinked, and it said, I think I know a way. And I looked, there's a new way to get Adobe programs, which many of you may not know. It's a subscription-based program where instead of paying $800 fucking dollars, you pay a certain amount of money a month. And so for $20 a month, I'm able to get Adobe Premiere Pro. Since I moved to Washington State in the middle of 2014, I noticed that I get a spike in views every weekend. And I think what's happening is that there's a group of people who like my content, but they don't have a chance to watch it during the week when I'm doing all the new gameplay live or anything, because they're busy. They have lives, they have school, work, you know, and their free time, the majority of free time is on the weekend, and that's when they sit down to watch my stuff. But what I realized is that what I say in the weekend preview on Sunday night isn't necessarily what happens during that week. So maybe they sit down, they say, oh, Phil says he's going to do all this stuff this week, and then they go look for it, and half of it's not there, or it's not in the right order, or I did something different, and they're highly confused. Actually, now, this is probably a bad idea, because you probably won't be able to see it. I'm going to try. This is going to be my new mailing address. Now, fan art, fan mail, like letters and stuff, you can send to this address. I'm going to tell you this preemptively before I show you the address. If you want to send me something like, oh, Phil talked about this game that he wants to play, and I have it, and I can send it to him, check with me first. The way to check with me is you've got to contact me one of two ways. Either email, darksidephil@hotmail.com, or the easier one is phil@thekingofhate.com. Both of those are business-related emails. Send me, I want to send you this, yes or no, and I'll respond to you and say yes or no. Okay? Do not just mail stuff, because if stuff just gets mailed, I don't know what it is, I'm not going to pick it up. Okay? I need to know what it is preemptively, or I'm not going to pick it up. Just warn you guys. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, here is the new address. I don't know if this camera is going to pick it up or not. So if it doesn't, I'm actually going to show you my new business card, which I made, and they're coming in the next couple of weeks, supposedly. So here it is. Wow, that's terrible. There you go. Hold on, I'll make it straight. Can you read that? Can you read that? No, that's not right. 17701 108th Avenue Southeast, number 1011. That's the box, 1011. Renton, Washington, 98055. Yes, 98055. That's the new mailing address, okay? So if you have any fan mail, fan art, that kind of stuff, you could just mail that right away, all right? If you have a package or something you want to mail me, check with me first. I'm going to say this preemptively. You must check with me first. Alright, so now what I want to show you is my new business cards, which I made, and they look very nice, and I'm going to be actually bringing these with me when I go to Emerald City Comic Con next month, and maybe hand some out, and if I run into any fans or whatever, I'll hand some out and stuff like that. And it's also nice when I have contests and mailings, and I post them up sometimes when I go to different food places. They have those boards, you can post business cards up, just to get the word out. Anyone will tell you, Business 101, you own your own business, you gotta get business cards. It's necessary. Even if it's internet-based, there's different ways to get the word out there, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and show you my new business cards. That's the business card, okay? So I know it's pixely because I blew it up for you, but this is what it's going to look like. Looks pretty cool, right? It's got that cool 8-bit art, that I've been using for about half a year now. Special shout out to the viewer who made that for me. It's got all that information on there. I got rid of all the Twitch stuff because that's all outdated now. You got the Patreon on there now. You've got Twitter. You've got everything there. See that? So, pretty nice, right? A lot of stuff. Let me give you some background for those of you who may not know. I moved from Connecticut to the state of Washington in the middle of 2014. And it was a big move for me, incredibly expensive to move stuff across the country. It's pretty much one of the most expensive moves that you can make besides internationally. Okay? And I took on a second mortgage because I'm still paying for the home back in Connecticut because I can't sell it. The market's so bad there right now that I would take a loss if I sold it, which I don't have the money to do that. So I'm stuck with paying 2 mortgages right now. And I'm juggling a lot of financial things, and when I moved here, I accrued a lot of debt. And the good news is, it's not that I'm in such a horrible situation that I can't pay the debt, it's that I have a certain amount of time to pay down this debt before it becomes interest accruing debt, and then it becomes debt that never goes away, okay? Me being a finance major and having lots of experience with this shit in my previous life before YouTube, I can tell you it's a horrible feeling when you're in crippling debt that seems like it never goes away no matter how much money you throw at it, okay? To have that when I was a bachelor in Connecticut, when I didn't have a lot of debt, let's be honest, when I'm living by myself in Connecticut, I'm single, right? I had a lot of money to travel, I had money to go around and do whatever I wanted. Times have changed. I started this when I was 27, I'm 32 years old now, and I'm a lot more mature, I'm a lot different. A lot of people might scoff, ha, he's more mature. I do think I'm a lot more mature person. I've taken on a hell of a lot more responsibilities, living now full-time with my girlfriend Leanna, paying for these mortgages, you know, all this important stuff that adults have to do now. My life's changed dramatically. Before we get into those, the last thing I'll mention, and then we'll go on a break here, is Patreon, okay? Last month, excuse me, last month we talked a lot about this, and I threw out the idea that, first of all, I'd let you guys know that I do have a Patreon page. It's Darkside Phil, just how you spell my name, with a Y, D-A-R-K-S-Y-D-E-P-H-I-L. Keep in mind, it's not capitalized, because there's people who did parodies and shit with capital letters. It's just Darkside Phil, lowercase, okay? The only reason that I set up the Patreon page is because I was told by Patreon to do it, because people were already trying to take all the names related to me to basically troll my ass on Patreon, okay? We've had some developments since then, okay? If you can believe it, and I'm going to address this because it needs to be addressed, Patreon is a website based off of charity and, you know, nice people, well-thinking, people who have money that want to donate towards creative things. Unfortunately, as you guys know, I have this negative cloud of people who follow me around the internet and basically try to spoil things for anyone who like to watch my content. So, when I put up this new page, there's this thing on the Patreon page called Activity. It's a feed where people who supposedly are going to be your Patreons and donate money to you so you can keep doing what you're doing for a living, can leave comments, right? They're supposed to be able to leave comments and constructive things. Wow, I love your work, blah, blah, blah. People basically fake donated, which you can do on that website. I don't understand why before you donate, you could say you're going to donate. And then they went on there and spammed the living shit out of the page. Now, you might say, oh, what's the big deal? It's not a big deal, right? So what if they spam, you know, a stupid, DSP tries it, being a man video. You know, the stupid videos that you can go watch them, who cares, right? I don't care about that. What I do care about is that they were on there trying to dox me. They were on there making death threats. They were on there saying that I was a pedophile. Basically some of the most vile shit that you could possibly imagine on the internet. Well, luckily I alerted Patreon, and within a few days, they literally got back to me and said, we profusely apologize that this has happened to you. We've never seen anyone have this kind of attack on our website before, and we're going to have to recode your page. And they did. They recoded my page and got rid of the activity feed so that people can't fake donate, never donate, but still post nasty shit. Just another day in my life where I got to put up with this kind of stuff, right? So anyway, the activity feed is now fixed. There's no more activity feed. That's gone. You don't have to worry about trolling on the Patreon page anymore. I'm at a point right now where, like I said, I got a lot of debt that was accrued. Unfortunately, my views have taken a hit over the past 8 months since I moved to Washington State for various different reasons. And if I'm going to keep doing these things and moving in the positive direction, I need you to kind of help me pick up the slack. You know what I mean? Consider the Patreon officially 100% live and launched. And let's get this going for March so that we can get this stuff on the road. And I'll have an alternate source of funding so I don't have to worry every day about views. Oh my God, did people watch Evolve? Oh my God, did people watch Grim Fandango? Oh my God, did people watch this? Instead, just play here and not care about that. Unfortunately, that's how I have to be right now because I have to pay my bills. It sucks. It does. It really does. You know, I love doing this as a living, But at the same time, it's always a double-edged sword. And when things change, when I moved here in Washington in the middle of last year, and all of a sudden my views dipped, things changed. And now I need to find this alternate method of keeping myself going, okay? Please let me know your ideas. I'll tell you right now, Phil shouldn't do it. Phil should find a job, a 9-to-5 job. People will say all this nonsense. Don't listen to it, because I've already talked about it at length that this stuff cannot happen. I make more money on YouTube just doing YouTube videos than I could getting any 9-to-5 job. The bottom line is I need to find a way to keep it going. And this is Patreon is a way to keep it going. If I stopped doing YouTube full-time to go get a 9-to-5 job and did a few videos a day, I would lose my entire YouTube viewership. It's not going to work. And I'd make way less money, and I would lose my house. So it's not going to happen, okay? We need to find a way to make this work, and I think positively, if we work positively together, we can make it work, okay? There's more than just black and white. It's not that one group is right and one group is wrong, and this is right and this is wrong, and this is yes and this is no, and this is black and this is white. That's not the fucking way the world works. And it never fucking will be. And the more people who have that mentality, they just fuck things up worse for everyone else. People need to start to learn to live and work together. And stop with this paranoia and bullshit and just believing that everyone else is evil if they don't believe the same shit that you do. It's out of control right now. And the thing is, I really feel this, that because of social media in particular, the fact that at any time you can just tweet your thoughts or make a Facebook post of your thoughts to the world and people will read it and respond, people more now than ever feel like they are 100% correct and everyone else is fucking wrong. And they are not listening, they will not accept other opinions, they will not walk a foot in someone else's shoes. They don't want to see out of their own perspective because they think I am the center of the universe, and because I have social media and people will respond to me, I'm obviously important and I'm right. And everyone else can go fuck off. And it's the worst kind of thing that you can do with your mentality and your life, in my opinion. You've got to be open-minded. You know what I mean? There's been an update, okay? Because Nintendo has this partnership program now on YouTube, okay, where you can partner with them and they will allow you to monetize your videos that are Nintendo-related gaming content. I believe the cut is 60-40, right? Where you make 60, they make 40% of the ad revenue. Actually, I take that back because I think it's a three-way cut because YouTube takes some of the revenue too. I'm not sure what the exact cut is because I'm not in this program. And with Machinima, Machinima protects me from this bullshit by making me a managed partner, so I'm able to actually play fucking Nintendo games, okay? But anyone else who's not a managed partner has to put up with this bullshit. And so, what it looks like is there was this controversy because people were signing up for the program and they were like, but if I sign my whole channel under Nintendo, what if I want to play a game that's not Nintendo? You know, yeah, I like to play Nintendo games, but I also like to play things on PlayStation and Microsoft systems and everything else. Let's face it, Nintendo is not the end-all and be-all of video games anymore, like they were, you could say, probably in the late 1980s and early 90s until Sega became a major competitor when they were. So, how is this going to work? Okay? In addition to that, Nintendo had only put out an approved list of games saying that they would do this for. There were other Nintendo games that they claimed they would not do this for. And people were like, we want more information. How is this going to work? Okay? Well, guess what? Nintendo responded. Thanks for your concerns. Here's your answers. Number one, if the game that you want to play is not on our approved list of games, we will just claim all the ad revenue no matter what. Guess what game is not on their approved list of games? Smash Brothers. So anyone who's not a managed partner on YouTube who wants to put up a video of Smash Brothers has all of their ad revenue stolen by Nintendo 100%. No ifs, ands, or buts, no way to appeal it. Fuck you, because Nintendo says they can, unless you take them to court. Well, that's a good attitude for Nintendo to have for their customers, right? But it gets worse. Now they say, well, let's say you have a gaming channel, right? And you want to play a Nintendo game, but you also want to play something that's not a Nintendo game. Too bad. Because guess what? The Nintendo partnership only works for Nintendo-related games. So Nintendo literally recommended that if you want to do gaming of Nintendo and make money on it, you may not upload any other games to your channel, period. Do not upload Microsoft, Sony, third party, only Nintendo games that are on the approved list should be uploaded to your YouTube channel, period. Nothing else will be approved, nothing else will you be able to make money on, period. What? What planet does Nintendo management live on? Is there a planet Nintendo out there between Jupiter and Uranus? Because that's where they fucking belong, shoving their heads up their own anuses with this fucking policy. Are you out of your mind? Why do you think that your single party list of games that you have approved for ad revenue is the only thing anyone should be able to make a YouTube video on if they join your program? Like, what? Are you, like, out of your mind? It's just... And the thing is, and it's funny, because DK Mario Link in the stream chat is saying something I said a few months ago when we were talking about Nintendo and their outdated, insane policies. Nintendo is traditional Japanese. Traditional Japanese culture, and this is not me talking shit, this is truthful, is that the Japanese feel that culturally they are one of the strongest, if not the most strong and intelligent people in the world. They are the most important. They are number one. So the upper management of Nintendo is of this mentality that everything they put out is better than everyone else. Why would you want to make a video of any other game? Because Nintendo is the best. So if you want to make money making Nintendo videos, we're going to take whatever the fuck we want from you. We'll do you the favor of maybe tossing you a couple bucks here or there, but don't even bother uploading anything else because Nintendo's the best. And that's what they actually believe. Talk about weren't we just talking about generalization and putting yourself in other people's shoes? Nintendo management is not able to do this. They're fucking insane. They're actually insane. They're just not in control. So it's insane. It's ridiculous. And right now it's just, you know, it's so ridiculous that people are like, I'm not going to make Nintendo videos anymore. Fuck it. And I'm not talking little PewDiePie, the biggest gaming YouTuber ever, came out. Other people, slowly but surely, are saying, I had enough. I can't serve, you know, I have a business that for years I was able to operate until December 2013, Nintendo decided to just lose their fucking minds. Here we are in early 2015, and they're getting worse. Fuck this, you know? And it's only going to be a small percentage of people who are protected under the guise of a managed partnership that are going to be able to upload Nintendo footage anymore without this ridiculous nonsense. Because I'm really not. I'm not going to, if I were told by Nintendo right now that we will take all ad revenue from your games, I would say, Nintendo, I love your games, but I'm not going to put up with your fucking elitist bullshit. You're not the best game company on the planet anymore. Maybe you were once, not anymore. And I'm not going to totally change my business model for you. Fuck you, goodbye. And that's what any gamer who's looking to do videos of Nintendo should be saying. It's that ridiculous that they think they're that important. Installment in the late 1990s makes his return to the Resident Evil franchise late this month with Resident Evil Revelations 2. I'm excited. You should be excited. You should be excited too. And so I said, what can I do? And then it kind of struck me. I said, now wait a minute. And then I sat still for like 5 minutes. However, you thought that I was going to skip the elephant in the room. No, I'm not. Ladies and gentlemen, the biggest gossip, the biggest thing all over the world right now that people are talking about in pro wrestling, is it about Daniel Bryan's amazing wrestling ability? Is it about Dean Ambrose's latest, crazy spot that he did? Is it about, Vince McMahon's sagging balls? No, it's about dick pics, of course. So if you haven't heard, don't worry. I'm not going to show you dick pics on this stream. I don't want you to feel, oh my God, I'm watching the King of Hate podcast, Hate Live, and I went blind seeing a dick. No, it's not going to happen. I may show you tits, but I won't show you, no, I'm not going to show you tits either. I'm not going to get into trouble. Because Bubba told him he could, and he said, okay, brother, my wife ruined my life, I'm going to bang your wife, brother. And he did, and apparently he has a huge schlong, so that went away within a couple of months. People stopped talking about it because Hulk Hogan has a humongous fucking sausage. But if he had a tiny dick, people would probably still be talking about that too. Will this ruin Seth Rollins' career? People are wondering what's going to happen. My personal take, I don't think that disciplinary action should be taken against Seth Rollins. I think the guy is already embarrassed enough to have his dick out all over the internet, and I think that WWE should pretend like it never happened, and I also think that WWE should stop fucking using Twitter to promote everything that they fucking do, because they realize it's a bunch of little drama queen ninnies that use that shit most of the time for that kind of stuff, and that they're going to do stuff like this. You know what I mean? Like, you can have it your way. Basically, my content is now going to be like going to Burger King and saying, I would like a double cheeseburger, please. And they give you a double cheeseburger, and you open it, and you take it, and you slap it down on the counter, and you say, Fuck you, I hate pickles. Take these fucking pickles back and get this fucking disgusting mustard off my sandwich, because where I come from, we don't put mustard on our double cheeseburgers. To which the clerk looks at you with his pimple face and says, sir, what the fuck's your problem? I just made a burger. You're being a dick. And of course, I apologize profusely, because he's absolutely right. I would never do that. But I'm just saying, it's just like Burger King, where you can order however you want. You can get my content however you want from now on. You can have it your way. All right?